Apparently, Kevin Hart got exposed, and it's really, really bad. Stephen A. Smith was upset about the joke that was thrown towards him during Kevin Hart's roast, and he said he needed his get back.
The roast of Kevin Hart special on Netflix. Kevin Hart made a pointed joke about his personal Mount Rushmore of racism. A list of people he claims hate black people. Alongside Shane Gillis, Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Hart included my name. Stephen A. Smith. Quote, my Mount Rushmore of racism when it comes to hating black people is Shane Gillis, Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stephen A. Smith. Those are my 4 people when it comes to hating black people. Or at least I thought I had a pretty good relationship with Kevin Hart. It's been on my show on many occasions. I've known him for years. I don't know. I've taken a lot of heat because of perceived positions that I may have had. And as a result, you've had some people from the Democratic Party who don't know that I'm aware of the steps and the lengths that they've been willing to go through to silence me, even though I'm somebody that has religiously voted Democrat and I support most Democratic views.
I don't know about that. And mind you, I'm not really political. I don't have a side at all. I think it's all a scam, personally. Left, right, whatever. There's a distraction, but I digress. An electoral college. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. But when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he's a Democrat. At least he hasn't shown that he is. This entire time, it seems like he's been pretty much against them. But now he's saying that he's like pro-Democrat. That don't really sound genuine to me.
Kevin Hart may have been telling a joke. It may have been the latest tasteless one that he told. I have no issue with the joke if it was a joke. If it wasn't a joke, I still wouldn't have an issue with it. I have an issue with the fact that it came from him. Somebody that I kind of know a little bit, that I got a lot of love and respect for. And at a time in my life, knowing I've spent my life fighting on behalf of my community, that people try to continue this narrative about me that I know is false, but that nevertheless still hurts to hear out of the mouth of anyone who knows me. I could respond more vitriolically, but I won't. More incendiary, but I won't. Because Kevin Hart has never once in his lifetime did anything to me that deserves that. And he's too good of a brother and too good of a human being for me to even consider doing something like that. But it stung. Didn't sting quite as much as a few people who I thought were my friends and loved ones that turned their back.
This sounds dramatic as hell. I know he's used to being like on TV and trying to sell his opinion, but damn, this seemed like a soap opera right now. Was it that serious? It seemed like everybody mad at Kevin Hart currently. No one was upset about the Charlie Kirk joke though, right? See what I mean? That's why I don't have no sides. I see a whole lot of bull crap going on.
My rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, That's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production.
They also said that you saw the jokes beforehand. So you agreed.
Why am I reading jokes beforehand?
I don't
You
So
the
I
boss.
can
That's
not
what people
laugh,
think.
so I can be in the chair.
You're in charge.
Yeah, you're in charge, so people think that everything falls back on you.
You're never guarding, like you're not acting as a know all and do all at the top. Comedians, I need to see everything y'all doing before y'all. That's not what comics do. No comics operate like that.
Mm-hmm.
So from Pete to Naeem to Big J to Cheryl to Chelsea, Jeff Ross.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I know there's a lot of people that's gonna hate me for saying this, but I don't blame Kevin Hart. It is not his fault. He doesn't have to go over everyone's jokes, even if that was the case, that like something that I guess was a requirement. I think that's ridiculous. No, you're gonna have to tell me all your jokes and I'm gonna read. Nah, that's not how roasts work. You would think people never watch the roast in their life. If you watch roast, it gets nasty, it gets filthy. People will talk about all types of stuff. Shoot, like Pete Davidson lost his father during 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. Every single roast I've seen him on, that gets brought up. You should have seen how they was talking about, what's the female comedian named Cheryl? Oh my gosh. Stuff they were saying about her husband that passed away from deleting himself from the video game. That's the nice way to say that. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get up and start throwing karate kicks. But I do also understand this is a roast, right? Like, and if you know that you're going to take part in it, you should bring your A game. You should come with the most craziest jokes. I did a roast for my birthday, I think 2 or 3 times before on YouTube, where I allowed people to call in and roast me. And people were so intimidated because they thought I was going to go back at them. So I eliminated the rule of me getting my chance at the end to go back at everybody. I was like, all right, I'm going to just let y'all go at it and say whatever y'all want. And this is what it is. And people was going crazy. Impersonations and all types of stuff. I didn't mind. I didn't cry about it. I laughed a few times. It's what it is. Never going to do it again, though. Gotta pay me. Let me just sit here and get roasted. Nah, son. But yeah, I don't think it was Kevin Hart's fault. I think people are going way too far with that. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from people that's like extremely pro-black. Once again, y'all not mad about the Charlie Kirk joke? Almost as if there's a clear bias. Yeah, there's a bunch of nasty jokes on there. I still don't think Kevin Hart's wrong.
Me, my thinking stopped at the 18 removed jokes. See, I'm an executive producer. I executive produce First Take. I executive produce my Sirius XM shows. I executive produce shows on my YouTube channel. I'm not watching every little thing because I have producers who work under me. And sometimes when stuff is happening in real time, you know what? I'm not there to catch it. I trust that they will. But if I'm watching something, I certainly have the power to make sure that it's edited out. I can tell you that much. And if Kevin Hart, as the executive producer, had the power to edit stuff out, which he did, and you left those jokes in, but you took out the Melania Trump joke, we got a problem. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm taking D.L. Hughley at his word because I didn't watch the whole episode. But I'm taking D.L. Hughley at his word, and he would know this is his lane. Being a comedian, being a star comedian for many years, knowing the industry and what comes with it, knowing the particulars that what comes with it, I'm going to trust him on this one. The fact of the matter is, if you left that stuff in about George Floyd, left that stuff in about Cheryl Underwood's husband, left that stuff in about slavery and what have you, but you took out Melania Trump. What's that about?
A lot of woke black people are going to be very upset for me pointing out this obvious fact. It was a live show. It was a live show. Netflix has been experimenting with this live format for certain things like sporting events and comedy. There was nothing that Kevin Hart could have done. He doesn't read the jokes beforehand, and the show was done live. What the hell is wrong with people? Like, come on. And he could say, and I think he has admitted, yeah, the jokes were pretty nasty. But what did y'all expect him to do? Use like wizardry? He's supposed to Doctor Strange it? Remove all the bad jokes while people are watching it live. So while I'm live streaming, you think I'm able to press a button and remove stuff? And like, I can sit there and edit it out while I'm live streaming. Say I'm Kevin Hart in this scenario while I'm on stage. There's a whole production team from Netflix. Me stamping my name as executive producer on it does not mean I have control. I don't know why people think that. Nah, that's not how it works. Especially when there's a big company like Netflix funding it. You probably just put it in your contract, hey, I'm an executive. What did you do? Show up? Invite people? Yeah, I thought he was going to really do some magic. Okay.
So you worried about the reaction from Donald Trump and how he might believe something is tasteless, but you're not concerned about the black community and how they would feel about things as it pertains to George Floyd, slavery jokes, Cheryl Underwood's husband committing suicide with her right there on stage, etc. That's where it gets a bit deeper. To me, that's the most salient point that was put out there. That's the biggest point that was made of all the people that complained and all the people that got something to say. The bigger point is the point that D.L. Hughley made. A roast is a roast. Kevin Hart's absolutely right. And you got to expect to be offended. He's absolutely right. And you got to expect that some of the material ain't going to be easy to take. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But if you edited out 18 jokes, how come it couldn't have been 19? How come it couldn't have been 20? How come it couldn't have been 21? 2 or 3 of those jokes getting removed of all they were saying. That's where it gets a bit deeper. And that's where I think people have a right to be in an uproar over the George Floyd jokes, over the slavery jokes.
Being mad at a slavery joke is insane in 2026. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. There's a plethora of racist people out in these streets. Look at Chud the Builder. But I'm saying that people are expecting way too much because they got offended. You're supposed to be offended at certain things when it comes to roast. Now, with Tony Hinchcliffe, I think is his name, I think the joke was corny. I don't think it was a good joke. Right? I know it sounds like I'm sitting here defending it. I'm not. I'm defending the right to make whatever joke you want, maybe. But that joke was trash. It was stupid. Like he was going after black people as a whole instead of Kevin Hart. Like that was very strange to me. It's almost as if he was like using the Kevin Hart roast as an excuse to say how he really felt about black people and try to get the N words off and all that. That was a little odd. No, that was extremely odd. I don't really agree with it. More so for the fact that it was trash. It was not a good joke. I've heard so much better. That was not good at all. But I don't think that people should be condemning Kevin Hart. How about y'all just focus on whoever made the joke? Oh, wait. They're not black. I guess you can't have an opinion? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button, hype button, all that good stuff. Go and tell me how y'all don't like me in the comment section. I ain't gonna read it anyway. I don't sign up for memberships if you want to help videos like this continue.